Anambra House of Assembly confirms appointment of Transition Committee Chairman. Federal government strengthens ties with European Union to promote partnership. As 200 injured as Kenyans protest over tax hike. Hello, beautiful morning to you and welcome to Breakfast News at 8. I am David Okpokwasele. Remember that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's continue to give him maximum support for the task ahead. We begin from the Governor's Lodge in Amobia, where the Governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, has inaugurated a panel of inquiry into the remote and immediate causes of the unfortunate building collapse at Oduibo Market Otanja and at Dennis Memorial Grammar School on DMGS Onitsha. Governor Soludo performed the function at the Governor's Lodge, Amobia. Our correspondent, A.G. Kabana, tells us more.
Members of the panel are Engineer Sir Victor Meju, the chairman of current Anambra State chapter, who will serve as chairman. Architect Ikenna Ebo, chairman, Nigeria Institute of Architects, NIA, Anambra State chapter. Member, TPL Nwofo Ben Obiora, chairman, Nigeria Institute of Town Planners, NITP, Anambra State chapter. Member, Surveyor Gabriel Okeke, chairman, Nigeria Institute of Quantity Surveyors, Anambra State chapter. Member. Others are Builder Kinsley Nweke, chairman, Nigeria Institute of Builders, Anambra State chapter. Member, MDCEO, Anambra State Material Testing Laboratory. Member, Professor Ezago Akolisa, chairman, Institute of Structural Engineers. Member and the permanent secretary, Ministry of Housing, Anambra State, secretary of the committee. Terms of reference of the panel include to identify the immediate and underlying cause of the collapse of lock-up shops at Oduibo or Chanja Market and the centenary building at Dennis Memorial Grammar School, Onitsha, including structural design, construction and maintenance factors. Assess the role of relevant authorities, including regulatory bodies and local government agencies in monitoring and enforcing building codes and safety standards, amongst others. Review compliance and make recommendations within 20 days or 4 weeks. According to the governor, the panel is made up of the state chairmen of various chapters of various professional bodies in Nigeria, pointing out that their appointment was as a result of the offices they occupy. Governor Soludo stated that the quick composition and inauguration of the panel shows the importance his government places on the subject matter, charging them on utmost professionalism in the discharge of their job description. While expressing optimism of getting an impeccable set of recommendations, the governor gave assurances that the administration may use it as a basis to effect corrective actions.
When the Oduibo one collapsed, set of buildings, it was quite a calamity. And now to see the 5-story building, centenary building, and I was informed some other buildings are in very bad state. And we need to get to the root of this matter. We can no longer tolerate these building collapses in Anambra. We must put in the relevant standards. We need to get to the bottom of these matters. Why do they collapse? Who dropped the ball? And what changes do we need to make? Whether it's in legal, regulatory, or enforcement mechanisms, institutions, and the involvement of the professionals. Here you are, state chairman of the various professional bodies. There's no better qualified team than you.
Speaking on behalf of the panel members, Engineer Meju assured of discharging their duties to the best of their ability and articulate their recommendations in the interest of a greater number of Indian Anambra.
We understand the sacred sanctity of this assignment to this administration. I want to reassure your commitment. The panel will be diligent and meticulous in unraveling the cause and then make fantastic recommendations that the government will plan judiciously and well articulated for the benefit of Anambra and the entire Nigeria. I will not disappoint you.
Chief of Staff to the Governor, Mr. Ernest Ezadri, was also present at the event.
All right, Anambra State House of Assembly has confirmed the appointment of Transition Committee chairmen and members of the 21 local government areas in the state. The House confirmed the appointment during plenary in line with Section 208 of the Local Government Law 1999 as amended and requested by Governor Chukwuma Soludo. Our House of Assembly correspondent, Emmanuel Chibata, tells us more.
The newly appointed chairmen are Sir Ifeanyi Chinweze, Anambra East, Mr. Fidelis Nnazo, Anambra West, Mr. Romanus Ibekwe, Aniosha, Mr. Chinedu Okafor, Oka South, Mr. Alphonsus Ofumelo, Ayamelum, Barrister Chijoke Ozumba, Dunukofia, and Mr. Stanley Nkwoka, Idemili North. Others are Barrister Chinedu Ononiba, Njikoka, Mr. Val Ezogidi, Nnewi South, Mr. Franklin Obaru, Mr. Anthony Nwora, Onisha North, Barrister Kasimia Nwafo, Orumba North, and Mr. Shedra Kazubike, Orumba South. The reappointed chairmen include Dr. Chibike Ofobike, Agwata, Mr. Tangod Aniago, Oka North, Mrs. Amaka Obi, Idemili South, Mr. Emeka Oji, Onisha South, Engineer Anayo Ojiako, Ihiala, Engineer Chris Obiora, Nnewi North, Mr. Chimezie Obi, Ekusigo, and Mr. Emma Nweke Oyi. The local government transition committee chairman will serve for a period of 3 months at the first. Speaking, the Speaker of the Assembly, Right Honorable Somtochukwu Udeze, congratulated the newly confirmed chairmen and charged them to remain focused and avoid pitfalls as a lot of Anambra place high hope on them. The Speaker further implored them to live to expectation and work cordially with their members and community stakeholders and work in line with the vision and mission of Governor Soludo.
Make efforts that we in this assembly represent the people. We are not here to represent a set of people, but we represent the people from our area who voted us to be here. So there should be a cordial relationship. Let all of you. So I once more congratulate all of you and ask you to go back and work on the Anambra.
Thanks. On behalf of the new transition chairman, the transition chairman for Agwata local government area, Dr. Ofobike, noted that they are prepared for work and thanked Governor Soludo for giving them opportunity to serve in the Anambra, promising not to disappoint. While Ayamelum TC chairman, Mr. Alphonsus Ofumelo, highlighted his strategies to boost the local economy of his local government.
We want to, in a very special way, extend and express our unallied gratitude to Mr. Governor, our Principal, Mr. Charles Chukwuma Soludo CFR, for trusting in us and for believing that we are going to do this job for the best interest of Anambra. We are going to work so hard to make Anambra successful.
In an interview, Orumba South DC chairman, Mr. Shedra Kazubike, expressed gratitude to Governor Soludo for finding him worthy to serve the people of Orumba South, assuring to work in line with the developmental agenda of Governor Soludo in ensuring that an enduring peace and harmony thrive in Orumba South. From the State House of Assembly, Emmanuel Chibata for ABS News.
The Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Dr. Onyeka Chukwuibezim, has received a Distinguished Merit Award from the Scout Association of Nigeria for his meritorious service to God and humanity. The Deputy Governor received the award from the group in his office at the Government House in Awka. Our Government House correspondent, Emmanuel Okonkwo, has the details.
Scout is a friend to all, and a brother to every other scout, no matter to what country.
Receiving the award, Dr. Ibezim, who is the president of Scouts in Anambra State, thanked the national body of the association for recognizing him in such capacity and dedicated the award to the Anambra State Governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, whom he said is a leader with a difference who provides platform for his subjects to serve the people. He assured that the award will spur him to do more for humanity and to serve the association better. Deputy Governor Ibezim intimated the group with various achievements of the Professor Soludo-led administration in the state, saying that the strides are the governor's effort towards ensuring equitable distribution of democracy dividends across the state and making the people feel the real impact of government.
So we're actually looking at him and then bringing to bear everything we have to serve humanity. From Cub Scouts to Scout Band, where we are now. And then in this state, the Scout president. And in no distant time, we will bestow to him the honor due to him as the patron of Scouts in this state.
Earlier, the Assistant Chief Commissioner, Communications and Public Affairs of the National Body of the Association, Dr. Chukwujekwu Ibe, and the Anambra State Scout Commissioner, Mr. Samuel Ofuonye, while presenting the award to Deputy Governor Ibezim on behalf of the National President, thanked him for his support to humanity and the association, encouraging him to continue with his good works, as God will definitely reward him.
Since he became the president, Anambra State has been forging ahead and we have not been lagging behind. It might interest you to know that there, apart from Benue State, Anambra came second with the largest contingent of Scouts.
In a vote of thanks, a member of the group, Dr. Etienne Teka Eze, described the award as well deserved by the Deputy Governor Ibezim, observing that since his inception of office as the president of Scouts in Anambra State, the association has continued to move from strength to strength and expressed hope that more good things are yet to come to the association under his leadership.
Thank you, and thank God mostly for giving you to us. If not you, and I'm here, even though we'll have a solution program. The thing we know about that on the spiritual. But I'm also on solution president.
The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Boundary Matters, Mr. Kenechukwu Okoye, and Special Advisor to the Governor on Legal Matters, Office of the Deputy Governor, Barrister Chukwunonso Chukwudi, were present during the event.
The Archbishop Province of the Niger, Most Reverend Alexander Ibezim, says invasion into church properties can lead to inheriting curses and death. Most Reverend Ibezim, who described church properties as God's own inheritance, stated this during a sermon at St. Nicholas Church, Achala, in Oka North Council area. Our ABS religion correspondent, Amaka Chibuzo Okoye, tells us more.
Archbishop Ibezim frowned at some people in the area who encroached into the landed property of the church, warning them to desist from the act. Most Reverend Ibezim, who was at the church to inaugurate Achala Archdeaconry, said the inauguration gladdens him as Achala is the headquarters of Oka North, and expressed hope that it will bring more progress and development to the area, as he expects them to engage in more work of evangelism, winning soul, and ecumenism. The prelate encouraged the Archdeaconry to work as new family with the purpose of winning souls for Christ, and be rest assured that God will renew them with his spirit. Welcoming the Archbishop to the community, the traditional ruler of Achara, Igwe Sonny Nwokedi, expressed happiness with the inauguration of the new Archdeaconry and commended the Archbishop for seeing the need to elevate the church to an Archdeaconry, saying that he believes in ecumenism and will work tirelessly to ensure that no one invades church lands.
While we left the state of nature, whereby an organized society, is the fact that anytime we should lose our rights of individual, whereby into the society and all our inalienable rights will be sustained by whatever leadership anyone chooses.
The Archdeacon of Achala Archdeaconry, Venerable Gilbert Nwankwo, disclosed that each time the Archbishop visits, It strengthened him for more work because of his words of encouragement and knowledge which give him hope of excelling in the work of his ministry. Also, in a welcome address, a member of Inauguration Committee, Mrs. Ngozi Christian, confessed that since the creation of Achala Archdeaconry from Umbako Archdeaconry, their joy has knew no bounds, describing it as historical. Most Reverend Ibezim read the deed of inauguration, charging the Archdeaconry to work as expected with the legal team of the diocese, led by the registrar, Barrister Chris Ademora. Special prayers for the new Archdeaconry and thanksgiving led to the climax of the service.
The federal government of Nigeria says it is committed to ensuring that its relationship with the European Union continues to evolve and actively promote partnership. The Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Atiku Bagudu, stated this in Abuja when EU ambassadors who arrived from Brussels were received by EU in Nigeria. Our Abuja Bureau Chief, Ekwi Ajide, tells us more.
It was an evening of networking as participants at the ceremony mingled amidst whining and dining, seeking one partnership or the other. Addressing the guests, Mr. Bagudu reiterated Nigeria's commitment to advancing regional cooperation in areas such as rule of law, democracy, climate change, migration, among others, to make life better for the citizenry.
We are committed to rule of law, we are committed to democracy, we are committed to international issues that are concerned, climate change, migration. We don't want our children being a burden. We are proud of them. We want them to go to places in the world out of choice rather than out of necessity. So we are willing and ready to cooperate in any way, shape or form with EU.
The Minister of Youth Development, Dr. Jamila Ibrahim, said the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration is committed to empowering young people with the view of making them the catalyst for economic development in the country. She counted some laudable approved policies and initiatives to be implemented by the administration in making this happen, to include 30% inclusion of youths in government, the launch of the presidential initiative on youth enterprise clusters to make young people the drivers of the economy and improve their access to finances.
He has also approved the launching of the presidential initiative on youth enterprise clusters, where we want to make sure young people are the drivers of the change we want to see in Nigeria's economy. And of course, we're all ready to embrace opportunities in driving that agenda.
Earlier, the EU ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Samuel Esopi, said the essence of the gathering was to foster partnerships and strengthen ties. The 11 ambassadors are supposed to hold series of meetings with the Nigeria government and communities during the visit.
We need to connect more, all the dots, and connect the continental agenda to the regional agenda, and to, in the case of Nigeria, to strengthen our ties, to have some good glass of something, some good pizza, mine.
In Abuja, Princess Ekwi Ajide reporting.
At least 200 people were injured and more than 100 arrested across Kenya when they began a nationwide protest against plans by government to hike tax. A rights group have said. 5 groups, including Amnesty International, said that at least 105 protesters had been arrested in a violent crackdown by riot police that included the use of tear gas, water cannons, and rubber bullets. Local media reported that an unidentified person died at the Bliss Medical Center in Nairobi from a gunshot wound to his thigh sustained during the protest. The details started with a police report that said that a 29-year-old man died during treatment for a wound on his thigh at the same hospital last night. Protests against budget proposals, which are aimed at raising $2.7 billion in additional taxes, widened on Friday in 19 of Kenya's 47 countries as Nairobi's Central Business District was brought to a standstill as horse-riding riot police threw tear gas canisters and opened water cannon on demonstrators. The protesters will begin their demonstrations on Tuesday, demanding that lawmakers vote against the legislation, which is expected to be burdensome for salaried Kenyans, entrepreneurs, and consumers. The new taxes will include a 2.75% levy on income for the National Medical Insurance Plan, as well as increased taxes on vegetable oil and fuel, which will raise the cost of production and trickle down to the consumer. Nigeria's Flamingos will know their group opponents at the 2024 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup today. The draw, according to information available on FIFA's website, will hold at the Fray Anton de Montesinos Monument in Dominican Republic. The draw ceremony will be anchored by Avelino Cadara, a journalist, football commentator, and content creator. FIFA's director of tournament, Jaime Yaza, will conduct the draw and will be assisted by Dominican athlete Tyas Herrera and Mexican player Tania Flores. The Flamingos are among the 16 teams that will participate in the competition. Bankole Olowokore's side finished in third position at the last edition of the competition hosted in India. Dominican Republic will host the competition from October 16 to November 3, 2024. It was a moment of grief and sober reflection as the remains of late Chief Jude Nduchukwu Obiago, popularly known by his on-air name, Jude Mascot Obiago, were laid to rest at his country home, Omwepa Village, Okoga, in Agwata local government area of Anambra State. Chief Obiago was a popular newscaster and presenter here on Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, until his demise at the age of 63. Our correspondent, Ifnanya Wankwo, tells us more.
Was filled with family members, in-laws, friends, well-wishers, and ABS family who gathered to bid farewell to their own. In a sermon during the funeral service at St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church, Otiboga, a guest priest, Reverend Father Professor Bonacristus Umogo, described death as the end of mortal life and the beginning of immortal and everlasting life. Father Umogo charged all to desist from sin, as sin leads to everlasting death, urged the bereaved family to take succor in God. Speaking to the ABS, the first son of the deceased, Mr. John Cross Obiago, described his late father as a legend who taught him to be obedient, self-confident, and truthful, called on his siblings to maintain the spirit of oneness.
He taught me to be obedient, to be selfless, and especially to be truthful in everything I do.
The only daughter of the deceased, Miss Cecilia Obiago, expressed sadness over the demise of her father, described him as a very intelligent, peace-loving, and raging.
My dad is this kind of person that he doesn't look at challenges. He looks for a way to overcome any challenges that comes across his way.
Brother to the deceased, Mr. Innocent Obiago, commended all who came to commiserate with them, described his late brother as a father and a role model. While his sister, Mrs. Elizabeth Umenzekwe, described her late brother as a fearless lion, wise, truthful man, kind-hearted, and lover of sport, urged his children to tow their father's good legacies. Director of Administration ABS, Lady Tina Ekenta, and Director of Programs Department, Mrs. Nneka Ekunife, described late Mascot as a humble and compassionate person who did his job diligently. Head of Commercial Unit ABS Onitsha, Mr. Valentine Mongoejiofo, and Chairperson ABS Onitsha Welfare Committee, Mrs. Ifieze, described the event as heartbreaking as mascot died when he was needed most, urged all to be consoled, even as he prayed for longevity. In-law to the deceased Mr. Lawrence Umala Kenyi and Mr. Ifeanyi Okbareke, as well as the nephew Mr. Nnemeka Chukwuma, his relative Mr. Paul Oragwa, among others, paid tribute to the deceased. Interment, danced by different groups and condolence visits formed high points of the event. From Oga If Nyanwanfo, reporting for ABS.
And before we end the news, here are the main points again. We told you that Governor Chukwuma Soludo has inaugurated the panel of inquiry into the building collapse incident in Onitsha. We also told you that the Anambra State House of Assembly has confirmed the appointment of 21 transition committee chairmen and members. The federal government has strengthened ties with the European Union to promote partnership, as 200 have been injured as Kenya's protests over tax hike in the country. And that's the news this morning. Thanks for joining us. I am David Obokwasele.